If your Arduino code keeps growing with more and more variables, then it can become very difficult to manage it all. And so the way to fix this problem is using structs. In this video, I'll show you how you can use structs to make your code much more organized and to help you so you can use less variables in your code. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so now here is some code here. This code is managing two toggle switches. And with these two toggle switches, you're able to turn on and off two different LEDs. Now, because we have two buttons that basically do the same thing, we basically have to duplicate parts of our code, as you can see right here. We have basically the same variables that are basically set to the same things. And when we go into the void loop, as you can see, we have two functions right here for switch 1 and switch 2. So each function is for one button. Other than that, we basically go into these functions, which are right here. And so basically in these functions, you can see it's basically the same. And this is kind of repetitive because it's doing the exact same thing. So how can we make this code for both of our buttons? Well, that's what structs help us do. So now I'm going to show you the code that will make our code much cleaner, and I'll also explain it to you as well. So here is the new code. As you can see, all the variables for one button is all put in this struct. So basically what a struct is it is basically a package or a bundle of variables. And these variables can be bundled up in like the group as we did here. These are all of the variables for the button. It's also good to do that to organize them and know, okay, which variables which one belongs to which. But also we don't have to make two variable sets for both of our buttons. We can just make one and we call it my button. So that's the name of the struct. So now we have two buttons that we have to assign these variables to. These variables, they're not set into anything right now because we're going to define its pin number later on in our code, as you see here. Okay, and they could be any data type. They could be integers, unsigned longs, booleans, whatever. And then here we basically call my button. So we have to call the my button when we are defining a new struct. We have to tell that's the data type because that's the group of variables. Okay, and then we're going to name the specific struct because we're making a new struct. We're going to make all these variables equal to something different now. So we're going to name these groups of variables and we're going to give those variables values. So first we have button 1 for toggle switch 1, and we define all the pins for toggle switch 1. So basically as we define the pins that are in this struct, we have to go in order of how they've been defined in the struct. So we have button pin first, so we put 12, which is the pin 12. Then we go down and we have button new. So this number right here is for button new, which we set to 1. Then we have button old, this variable we set to 1, and we go on, which we set to 0. This means we set last millis to 0 right here. This isn't really necessary to do because it's always set to 0, so we don't have to do this. And as you can see, I actually don't do anything with these either. We don't have to define these pins if we don't want to. By default, we just want them to be on false, and that's how they all set. So you just put all of the variables that you're not going to really want to define. You want them to set 0 or false. You just leave them down below and you don't even have to define them. You put the ones on the top that you have to define, which is the button pin, button new, button old. These are the things we have to change because by default they're set to 0 and we don't want that. So then we're going to want to set up button 2, and that's what we do down here. We just call the same struct and we name it button 2, but we give them a little bit of a different value, which is 11. All the other variables are set to the exact same thing. So basically then we go down to the void step, and you may be wondering, okay, so how do we, for example, define the pin number that is in the struct? So what we do is we call the struct, the group of struct that we named, and then we do a dot, and then we call the variable within that struct. So in this case, it's button pin. And even if you, for example, if I go back on here, let's say we're writing it out and I press dot, this actually gives me all the variables that are inside of this struct. And you can just pick them out. So in this case, we want a button pin, which is right here. We go ahead and click that and it puts it in for us. So that's how we call these values out of these structs. Same thing if we're making something equal to it. For example, we have a button new. We're going to do button 2 dot new equals whatever. Okay, so then we go into the void loop and we just go ahead and run this function. Now you can tell that there are two calls for the function. Each one's for both of the buttons because we still have to call them separately, but as you can see, they're both the same function. So we're going to this part, and as you can see, this is all the code that it takes to do one toggle switch. So basically, two toggle switches are using this code that is fit only for one toggle switch because they're in a function, and they're all set to button. Last thing that is good about using a struct is that you can use these with functions, because the problem is here, as you can see up here, we have all of these data types for one toggle switch. All right, and we need all of these values to go into the toggle switch function. But the problem is a function in C++ can only accept one data type, but here we have 3 different data types. So to get all these variables inside of this function, we have to use a struct. So basically right here with this name right here is the return. This is the data type we are returning, which is the data type of the struct, which is named myButton. Doesn't matter what they equal to, just matters that it contains those types of variables. And we also receive this type of struct as well. So basically that is how you use a struct. If you have any questions, guys, consider leaving a comment down below. Also consider giving this video a like if you like this video, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thank you everyone. Have a great day. Bye.